Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family. Because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling.
What happens when a celebrity, usually calm and admired for his professionalism, suddenly explodes with raw emotion in front of thousands? This is exactly what shook the Chinese entertainment industry when Liu Yunning fiercely scolded his own fans for flashing Polaroid cameras at actress Zhao Lusi, an act that left her trembling and in fear. But was this an uncontrollable meltdown, or a powerful reminder that stars, too, are human beings who deserve respect and protection? Stay tuned, because this story is more than just drama. It's a wake-up call for all of us. What was meant to be a celebration of art and connection quickly spiraled into something far more unsettling. The evening at Beijing's Golden Mall began with excitement and anticipation. Fans gathered in their hundreds, holding banners, gifts, and cameras, ready to see two of the industry's brightest stars, Liu Yunning and Zhao Lusi, standing side by side to promote their highly anticipated drama. The atmosphere was charged with admiration, the kind of electric energy that often fills a room when idols and fans finally meet face to face. Smiles were exchanged, greetings were shouted, and for a brief moment it seemed like a perfect portrait of the harmony between stars and their supporters. But beneath that joy, a dangerous current began to stir. As fans pushed forward to capture the moment, Polaroid cameras flashed again and again, sending bursts of blinding light into Zhao Lusi's direction. At first, it seemed harmless, just enthusiastic supporters desperate to freeze time and take a piece of her home with them. Yet as the flashes grew relentless, the energy shifted. What started as admiration transformed into something invasive and overwhelming. Zhao Lusi's face told the story that words could not. Her smile began to fade. Her hands instinctively rose to shield her eyes, and her steps faltered as though the ground beneath her was unsteady. The light, instead of being a symbol of affection, became a weapon of discomfort. Few in the audience understood what was truly happening in that moment. Zhao Lusi has long carried a sensitivity to harsh light, a condition rarely discussed in public, but one that makes such flashes more than just bothersome. Each burst of white glare felt like a blow, a piercing reminder that even moments of celebration can quickly turn hostile. She stumbled backward, struggling to compose herself, her shoulders trembling with the effort to appear calm. It was no longer the image of a radiant actress basking in the love of her fans. It was a picture of a young woman under siege, desperately seeking relief from an onslaught she could not escape. In that instant, the room shifted from cheers to tension. The boundary between support and violation had been crossed, and the cost was written clearly on Zhao Lusi's frightened expression. It was in this fragile silence that Liu Yunning's breaking point began to emerge, setting the stage for one of the most shocking moments the entertainment industry had witnessed in years. In the next moments, what unfolded would sear itself into the memory of everyone present. Liu Yunning, a figure often praised for his composure and professionalism, suddenly transformed before the eyes of his audience. The sight of Zhao Lusi shielding her face, trembling beneath the relentless flashes, seemed to ignite something powerful within him. He stepped forward, his voice cutting through the noise with a sharpness that left the entire room frozen. It was not the calm, measured tone fans had grown accustomed to hearing in interviews and performances. It was raw, cracked with emotion, carrying the weight of fury and anguish all at once. For nearly 7 minutes, he poured out a torrent of words that stunned even the most seasoned journalists in attendance. His accusations were not veiled in politeness. He called out the fans directly, declaring that their behavior was inhumane, that in their desperate attempt to capture a fleeting moment, they had stripped away the dignity of the very person they claimed to love. His eyes, blazing with frustration, scanned the crowd as if searching for understanding, as if daring anyone to deny the cruelty of what had just transpired. Security guards hesitated, unsure whether to intervene or allow him to speak. Silence filled the air, broken only by the sound of Zhao Lusi quietly sobbing behind him. For those who watched, the atmosphere was suffocating. Some felt an undeniable surge of admiration for Liu Yunning, believing they were witnessing a man who had finally drawn a line between adoration and exploitation, who was brave enough to protect a colleague when she could no longer protect herself. Yet others recoiled, unsettled by the intensity of his anger, worried that his words, though born of sincerity, might tarnish the image of a rising star whose career depended on maintaining calm in the face of chaos. The audience was divided, not just in their opinions of him, but in their own reflection on where the fault truly lay. Liu Yunning's outburst was more than anger. It was a cry against the crushing pressures of modern fan culture, a moment when the facade of celebrity perfection cracked wide open to reveal the humanity beneath. He was not simply scolding an audience. He was exposing a painful truth, that without boundaries, the love of fans can turn into something dangerous, something that wounds instead of uplifts. It was in that fiery confrontation that Liu Yunning etched a moment of unforgettable vulnerability, both for himself and for Zhao Lusi, forever changing how they would be seen by those who claimed to adore them. To truly understand the gravity of that night, one must step into Zhao Lusi's shoes. In the eyes of the public, she is a rising star, radiant, graceful, adored across nations for her gentle presence on screen. Yet under the violent rhythm of flashing lights, that polished image shattered. She was no longer the dazzling actress fans cheered for, but a young woman overwhelmed by fear, her body trembling as if each burst of light struck her like a physical blow. Witnesses recall how she clutched her face, her shoulders shaking, her tears hidden behind her hands, as the very crowd that celebrated her unknowingly became the source of her anguish. It was a haunting moment, the kind that strips away the illusion of fame and reminds us that even idols bleed, falter, and break. For Liu Yunning, standing only steps away, the scene pierced deeper than words could capture. His anger, so visible to the world, was not born of arrogance or pride, but of helplessness. Imagine watching someone beside you crumble under pressure, knowing that no amount of rehearsed smiles or scripted lines could shield her from the pain she was feeling. That helplessness spilled out in the form of fury, not because he hated the fans before him, but because he could not bear to see her suffer in silence. His eruption was the language of desperation, the voice of someone who could not watch another human being, much less a colleague, be broken before his eyes. Those minutes created an emotional chasm in the hall. The audience, once lively with cheers, now sat in stunned silence, torn between empathy and discomfort. Some wept quietly, recognizing the cruelty that had been disguised as admiration. Others looked away, unsettled by the intensity of emotions laid bare on stage. For many, it was the first time they saw their idols stripped of glamour, standing not as distant stars but as fragile human beings. And for those closest to the scene, it was almost unbearable to witness. Two young artists, one shielding his colleague with anger, the other trembling with fear, both revealing the fragility that fame so often forces them to hide. That evening's peak was not defined by spectacle or scandal alone, but by humanity unmasked. Zhao Lusi's tears and Liu Yunning's rage fused into a single truth. Beneath the shimmering surface of stardom lies vulnerability, and when pushed too far, even the brightest lights can flicker. It was a moment when the entertainment world paused, not to admire, but to remember that its icons are, in the end, as human as all of us. But here's where it gets even more unsettling. Reports suggest that the flashing may have been deliberately planned by certain fan groups who saw Zhao Lusi as a threat to Liu Yunning's single status. If true, this wasn't chaos, it was sabotage. And that reveals something bigger. A fan culture so extreme that admiration turns into obsession, and obsession turns into cruelty. Beyond the drama, this incident shines a light on the fragile mental health of young performers. Celebrities are not invincible. They can be hurt, frightened, even broken just like anyone else. In fact, after the scandal, several entertainment companies began introducing new safety measures, including mental health support and stricter fan boundaries. A small but vital step towards protecting artists who give so much of themselves to the public. Perhaps this isn't just about one actor's anger or one actress's fear. It's about rethinking how we treat the people who bring us music, stories, and inspiration. Respect is not optional, it's essential. And now we turn the question to you. Was Liu Yunning's reaction a necessary act of courage, or a dangerous loss of control? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching Update X24H. If you found this story eye-opening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'll be back with more stories that reveal the truth behind the glamour. Until then, stay curious, stay kind, and stay inspired.